Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well on this 31st day of May. It is graduation season, and I've been to a graduation already, and I'm sure many of you have as well. If you're not, there are some that are coming up. And I wanted to touch on some things that I see and get your thoughts on it while we're going through it. Every year, they come up with the announcement. Uh, we want to keep excess celebration to a minimum. We ask that you hold all applause until the end so that everyone can hear the name of their graduate as they come up and walk across the stage. And every single year, without fail, nobody does that. When they hear their graduate's name, it's congrats, and the place goes nuts. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. Celebrations, graduations. It's a great time of year. And Faisal, hi, I see you, and congratulations to you and your daughter. I understand she walked across the stage this weekend from Fort Dorchester, I believe, with honors. So thank you very much for tuning in, and congratulations to her on her accomplishments as well. I'm sure you were very overjoyed, as many parents are during that time period. So let's talk about this for just a minute. Um, when you call a child's name to go across the stage, that's what, maybe a 3 to 5 second process. Raphael James, people clap even though they're not supposed to, and then the next person's name is called. Now, you're in this auditorium with thousands of people. And for many of our children, this is the first time they've received this kind of attention in their lifetime. And for many of them, it won't happen again. You are center stage as your name is called and you walk across to receive your diploma. It is a really big deal. The sacrifices that you've made to get to that point, the long nights of studying, the maybe sometimes wondering if it would ever happen at all, just to hear your name called. It's a huge spotlight, and sometimes we have people come in from out of town to celebrate and share in that day with us. Um, and that is special. So when people call or when people come to these occasions and share in that day for that special loved one, it is huge. And to just ask people to hold all of the applause to the end, it just doesn't seem to work. And they say they want everyone's name to be heard as they walk across the stage. I remember, going when I came up, they would have graduations from kindergarten. And that was a pretty big deal. Your mom and your dad would come, and maybe a auntie or somebody. In fifth grade, they kind of stopped doing fifth grade graduations from elementary school to middle school. And in some places they still do it, and some people will come. But high school, for most people, is the first stage, literally, that you get called across with that magnitude of people watching you and applauding you for something powerful that has happened, something positive that has happened in your life. And to have that overflow of emotions be limited to a polite clap sometimes is out of the question, or to wait until all, in some cases, 900 names have been called to kind of give a response to your graduate. That seems a little unfair as well. So, what most people do is when their name is called, they make sure that the graduate hears it. They make sure that they know how proud we are of them. And, I've seen kids say, "Oh God, my parents are going to embarrass me when I walk across the stage." And probably some of them were embarrassed by it. But what's more embarrassing to me is watching the kids go by or cross the stage where nobody says anything, where it's so silent in that huge auditorium with all those people and nobody applauds their accomplishments. There have been times where I have done so and loudly just to feel that silence in the room. To graduate from high school is a major accomplishment and it should be celebrated. Um, so, how do you feel about that? Do you prefer that? Would you prefer that everyone just hold on to all applause and any applause until the very end? Or do you feel like, as expressive people in a time of expression, that should be allowed? I'd love to hear what you think. I go through some of the comments. Sam, hey, Sam. Sam graduated from Bishop England in 2011, and his parents cheered him on, as they should, as they should. And I appreciate that, Sam. The As I sat in the audience over the weekend, I'm there for it. I don't mind the celebration. I don't mind seeing parents applaud the hard work of their graduate because, in a lot of instances, this may be the last opportunity for that person to be shown that kind of appreciation. Some people don't go on to college or to further their degrees any further than that. And honestly, the sad part of it all is that too many of them, the next big gathering, the next time someone takes time off of work to pay any attention to them, is at a funeral. Yeah, I've seen that too. So at some point, we have to take out the time to appreciate the good in people. At some point, we have to give give rise to that expression as well. And as far as names being called, and I'm sure there are some educators out here who could kind of argue me up and down about why they do it, and it's to keep decorum and all of that. Now, I can understand that, but I think it's okay to cheer. Now, there is a such thing as excessive when you're doing the absolute most with the air horns and the beach balls and cheering so loudly and so long that, we're into the next person or the next two people and you're still going. That's just rude. And we could do without that. But I see nothing wrong with people cheering on these graduates. And Mabel agrees. Let these people cheer. I agree. All right. So that is really what I wanted to talk about on today. And I'm interested in hearing from you, any of conversations, any thoughts that you might have on this. It's just something that happens every year, and every year people have a different way of going about it. Gwen, thanks for checking in, Gwen. Gwen says they should hold applause until the end. When they blow that loud air horn or yell, hue, or scream, no one can hear the next child's name. And that's a very good point. I think there is a place where you can be respectful, and too much is too much. But I think, and put yourself in that child's position. Um, those same children who say, "Don't embarrass me," would be even more mortified if, when their name was called, nobody said anything. You walk across the stage in silence. I don't know that would be anybody's idea of being celebrated. So, Wendy, thanks for joining us, Wendy. Wendy says it was graduation in the backyard or front yard cookout, 1983, and that was sufficient. These times now, it's crazy. They're doing all of the extras. That's true. And you mentioned cookouts and things of that nature. After the graduation, there are usually parties too. So yes, some of that can be saved for an actual party or an actual celebration. But at the same time, I don't know. I think you can let your hair down a bit and cheer on these graduates. They've done a good job. Tina says she thinks the ball is cute. Well, to each his own, I guess. It's just a matter of finding a way to celebrate and finding a way to applaud something good. There's enough negative going on. And I think on that day, to penalize parents or kind of to chastise those who've made huge sacrifices to be there in the first place, I don't know if that's the way to go about it. But certainly, all of those kids who made it to that point deserve recognition. And again, shout out to all the 2022 graduates out there, whether you're graduating from high school, college, or um, graduate level degrees. We're very proud of you in that regard. Sean says it is the first real celebration these young adults get. It deserves a 5-second celebration. Air horns and beach balls are all about the person doing it, not the graduate. A clap, a yell, then let the next have their moment. I agree, Sean. And for those of you who don't know, Sean just recently graduated herself. Sean, we're very proud of you. Congratulations and shout out to you. Tina says, too many rules. Sometimes there are too many rules. All right. So, um, nothing real major to talk about. I just experienced that at the graduation and thought I'd um, get on and discuss it. I know Charleston County is getting ready to have their graduations this week. I believe Thursday, things kick off at the North Charleston Coliseum and Performing Arts Center, if I'm correct. So, as you go, as you cheer on your graduate, uh, let them know how proud you are of them, but also don't take away from the next child's shine when it's their time to walk across the stage. I appreciate you guys always stopping by and talking with me and allowing me to talk about some things that are outside of the headlines from time to time. We certainly do have on this day some other things to talk about. Last night there was a serious shooting downtown. We've got reporters covering that, still trying to figure out who all was involved and the severity of the injuries. We'll have that coming up for you in just about an hour or so on Live 5 News at 4, 5, 5:30, 6, 7, and 11. Also, um, there was a shots fired incident where someone shot into a business on Ashley Phosphate Road. We've got crews out there on that. What else is going on? A 4-year old child was involved in a hit and run accident. They're still looking for that driver. The child, I understand from family members, is in the hospital with pretty severe injuries. So we will we will continue to follow those stories and update you on air and online as that comes through. Again, we'll be starting in just a little bit at 4 o'clock on Live 5 News. You can also go to live5news.com to be updated. And of course, check out our app, the Live 5 News and Weather app. It's you can download it on your phone and in your phone's app store. Hey, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you all, and we will see you back here next time. Thank you.
Word, that'd be cold.